Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I don't know. I wouldn't, you know. I'm back. I'm back. Perhaps the mild illness that I had claimed some of my brain cells. Who knows? That or the... What's the word I'm looking for here? Well, it claimed that brain cell that had that word in it. The inexorable passage of time. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you're enjoying this ambience. Can you hear the ambience? I hope you're hearing the ambience. Let me get into the game so you can hear the music and let me know how the sound balance is. Okay, now you're going to lose the sound for a moment because this game does not like doing background audio. But I promise you, you will, and see, you've now lost the video as well, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I've got even better video for you. And even better audio for you. I have to get everything up on top of first, otherwise I can't see shit. There we go. Hey, look at that. I certainly hope that's visible. There we go, that looks about right. Jane, I'm terribly sorry to have to tell you this, but I did read your last chat message as I'm on the edge of my feet. So that's a reality that I now have to live in, I guess. Celestian, you had to cover for your boss today. Oh, yeah, I am feeling a little bit better. I was a bit ill. I don't know. Yeah, I was just feeling a bit off, and I found out the day after I was sick. I was feeling better the day after I was sick, I was actually sick on the Tuesday, and I found out on the Wednesday, like within the past like 2 days or something like that, a bunch of mold had like grown in my house, like on my windowsills in my bedroom, and I was like, well, that explains a few things. So I suspect that's why I felt particularly bad on that day. It's been pretty damp and cold here in Canberra, and turns out that damp and cold are good for mold. Damp and cold are good for mold. There you go. So if you need to remember when to look out for mold, damp and cold are good for mold. So naturally, I bought a massive dehumidifier that's probably in excess of my needs, but I talked to Gopher about it, and Gopher says that it's better to buy things that are overpowered and run them at part power than to buy things that are exactly the right power and run them at full power. It is better for machine, and it is better for efficiency. So you know what? Gopher's never led me wrong so far, and I'm going to have a massive dehumidifier in my house soon, and then we don't have to deal with the mold anymore. You can tell that I haven't streamed for a while. I usually ramble for a little while the first time coming back. But yeah, I'm feeling a bit better. I have another snack. Here, I'll give you a sound effect for the snack. Ready? You can hear one crunch, but I won't tell you what it is. You have to guess. If you get it right, I will tell you, but I can't eat just one. Two crunch. There we go. Not pretzel. Gopher. Gopher got it. It is Nutrigrain. Cornado, says Celestian. What is a cornado? I'm intrigued. Gopher, you think the mold is the Resident Evil origin story? Do you think I'm going to turn into that girl in RE7? I don't remember what her name is. Mold lady. Moldy. Molder. Imolder. A moldia. She made the mold, okay. But yes, hello, Mikey. I don't think I said hello to you in the confusion and joy of starting streaming again. Hello, Gopher. Hello, Jane. Hello, Aria. Hello, Celestian. Hello, Mikey. Hello, all of you. Hello, everyone. And hopefully we'll have some more hellos as things go on. Hello, hot dog. Hello, cheese. I'm gonna eat another Nutri-Grain. I can't believe no one suggested Crunchster, even though it's right there. Does anyone especially hate the sound of me eating? Because I can mute. Got any more oranges? I do. But no, we're going for the crunchy snack rather than the juicy snack tonight. Donk, donk, donk. Alright. I don't remember what we were doing, but I guess we'll find out. As I said in the Go Live message, I've probably forgotten all of the voices. So we'll have to see. Cheese, you want me to do the sound effect that goes with the Nutri-Grain ads? I'll do it. I'll do it. But it's going to be loud and sound weird, all right? Is everyone ready for loud and sound weird? People look pretty ready. All right, let me see. I haven't seen an ad for Nutri-Grain in a while. I would like mute and practice by myself, but my throat might only allow me to do one of these. So let's see. It's like, yeah! Something like that, right? Insane streamer screeches before 2-hour reading session. That was certainly a sound, but was it the right sound? People who are familiar with the Nutri-Grain ad. Does Nutri-Grain exist outside of Australia? Oh shit, I forgot to read his thing. What did he say? So what's up? Luckily I can see the stream preview. I've moved my dashboard around a little bit so I can always see what you guys can see. Jane, you think it is or you think it isn't? Alright, so Greg said, what was it? So what's up? I don't think that's his voice, but we'll do it. Let's see. Okay, I think we finished doing all the things that we could do today. I missed the pretzel. So let's go to band practice. It was directly from your stomach. Yes, it was. I was like, when I was preparing, I put my like throat into what I thought was the correct orientation, and then I just like thought of the face in the ad, and then just like from the stomach, from the diaphragm, force the air out. All right. All right. We're gonna head out to band practice. I'll do the screaming. Oh, hello. I don't remember what your name was. Jeremy? Jeremy, right? I love this little, like, croc gnome. Alan gnome to... No, I've got nothing. Anyone else got a better pun for it? Practice. Yes. I crashed my bike once and a broken spoke went through my leg. Thank you. Thanks for that. Jeez. It was kind of cool. Oh, yeah, I can see that. Who? Alright, kids, I gotta head out soon. Where you going? Family stuff? Oh, okay. Just for a night. Okay, we doing this? Yeah, let's do this. Wait, I don't know this song. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, oh, fuck. Well, you know, it's never stopped me before. It has never stopped me before. Wait, I don't know the song. Like, at all. And I barely remember how to play bass. Funnily enough, I, the streamer, also barely remember how to play bass. I did at one point know how to play bass badly, but not to any level of performability, and I've forgotten everything now. All right, you'll be fine. I completely will not be fine. Zero self-confidence, huh? Grove says play one now. I don't have one now. Maybe if you're very good, I'll like find like the next time I have a cardboard box empty in the house, I'll get some rubber bands stretched over it and like dung 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 with the rubber bands, you know? No, I just don't know the song. You stupid jerks. Oh boy. Weird autumn. It's gonna be a weird autumn. Ah, yep, there we go. Ah, which is A? Bottom button? Okay. Ah, hang on. Let me just. What? How can I keep confusing A and Y so badly? It was like this last time too. Ah. Ah! A for R! Ah! Ah! That's the wrong one. Oh no, is that a bass solo? No, the bass is just going and everyone else has stopped, okay. Ah! Brain, please! Brain, I need you just a little more, please! Oh my god. Flawless. Thank you, hot dog. I thought so too. Y is on the top, says Gopher, because it's an arrow pointing down, and A is on the bottom because it's an arrow pointing up. But A is on the bottom, so Y has to be on the top instead, and vice versa. Gopher, I think you've just confused me more. Maybe it'll cause an overflow error, and I'll do better next time. Encore, I will if I can. Wow, May, that was pretty bad is what it was. I literally do not know this song. Inexcusable, huh? Wait, I can... Oh, if I jump up on the stage, I can talk to these people. Cool, alright. That's not the right button. Oh. Hey, Duda. Angus leaving for the night? Yeah, gonna be bored. Or rather, I would be if I didn't have plans. Hello, Asparagon, by the way. Plans? Crimes. Ooh, crimes. You up for some crimes? Okay, do we get to choose who to hang out with? Okay, let me see. Okay. I might be hanging out with B. Let me check first. Cool, let me know. That was pretty loud. Is that good? Loud's fine. He's nice. I like him. Cheese says Angus's hat bounced off his head when you made a mistake. Well, I'm glad you could see his hat doing a merry jig then. Hello, Dragon. You just missed me completely fucking up the song, yes. You want to do something tonight? I promise it'll be an improvement on last night. What were you thinking of doing? Want to go to the mall? The mall? Yeah, Fort Lucerne. Like we did when we were kids. When's the last time you were at the Fort Lucerne Mall? I don't know, 5 years ago? Yeah, what? You know what? Yeah, let's go. Great. Yep, great. I promise it'll be great. Okay, we sure we're doing this? I want to see what this is. Crimes. Well, honestly, crimes is obviously like a terrible idea, but let's. We'll probably end up doing crimes either way, right? But let's do whatever crimes is involved with hanging out with B. All right, yeah, let's go mauling. Let's go molding. Grove says crimes is illegal. That's correct. I'm about to commit a crime against this snack. Very good. If I can try again, like in the room, like I don't know if it unlocks the songs that you've played in the band for you to practice in your room, but if you can play them in your room, I'll give that a go next time. Next time I'm in my room. All right. That's right. That's right, Jane. I'm a tough character, you know. Real no mercy towards the snacks. Great. Car. Glad I didn't puke in here. Me too. Maybe I just never drink again. Or maybe you just take it easy next time? I don't know if I do moderation well. I could see that. I think the term is risk-taking behavior. Are you seeing someone about this? Hanging with you is working pretty well tonight. Don't use your friends as therapists, folks. It's a shitty thing to do, and it's not going to help you very much. Literally, even if they are themselves qualified. I should be getting paid by the hour. I got gum. I'm going to turn on the radio now. Old Gods of the Fort Lucerne Mall. I didn't know this was a Cthulhu game. Just use your streamers as therapists. You know, some people do come into... I'm literally not calling out anyone in chat. This isn't a not calling out anyone in chat, but actually calling out people in chat. I'm literally not calling out anyone in chat, but I have seen in some streams, you know, people will just like post massive text posts like about all the like emotional turmoils they're going through. It's not just like regular stuff like, oh, I had a shitty day at work, or oh, you know, I'm having trouble with my partner. That's like just normal chat, right? But no, it's like these long, very detailed things you shouldn't be telling to strangers. There's better options. Flaccid Gaming, welcome to the stream. What a username. What a username. Hello, Hexavex gone as well. Is that Marge Simpson in the planter there? It does appear to be. I guess her hair got long during the pandemic as well. You swear it's ironic? I'm not going to judge. Okay. Fort Lucerne! Oh my god. Yep. What the hell happened? The internet? We had the internet when we used to come here. What happened to the carousel? Sold it, I guess. Who buys a carousel? Chat, if you had all the money in the world, would you buy a carousel? That's the real question. I would totally buy a carousel. I don't know where I'd put it, but if I had all the money in the world, I could, you know, probably work it out. Nobody who comes here. What happened to the bookstore? Also the internet. What happened to the arcade? I'm gonna make a sign that says the internet and hold it up until you're done asking. Let's see if we've got... Oh no, I don't think it did anything, right? We didn't get like the little pop-up for it. Mikey, you would? The majority of people in chat say no. Dude, I love carousels. They're great. Alright, you'd go for a bouncy castle instead. You can rent a bouncy castle. I don't think you can rent a carousel. It seems a bit... seems a bit difficult to transport. Maybe you can get like ones on trailers though? Gopher says vom machine. Gopher, how fast do you think carousels go? Eight. That does sound like a thrilling experience. What happened to internet? Dude, the reason this place closed down was definitely because they didn't update the decor since the early 1980s. No, remember, you have all the money in the world, so it doesn't matter. You can have carousel wherever you want. Gopher says stand at plant. Okay. This plant? Or this plant? I think this plant's in the background. You can't be Marge Simpson. With this one you can. Just, yeah, look at that. Mae Simpson. Cheese, rather than a carousel, you want one of those things that you sit in and turn the disc by hand to spin around until your roommates go flying out. Yes, I know exactly what you mean, but I have no idea what it's called. They were in like playgrounds when we were kids, right? I don't think I've seen one recently, but then I also don't go to playgrounds recently because I don't have kids and I am 30. Wait, am I 30? Shit. I'm 31. 31. It's alright, I forgot my age for a moment there. Okay. That's the button, right? And yet Dollar Empire is still here. Everything on sale forever. Amazing. I think this is one thing the internet can't compete with. I used to go in here when I was a kid. You could get an eraser for $1, a pencil for $1. That actually doesn't sound like a good deal. Oh God, you're right. She sat, look, she was smiling and now she frowned. Gopher says, if I had all the money in the world, I would eat an entire pecorino wedge every meal. That sounds bad for you sodium-wise, but good for you happiness-wise. Maybe eat 1/3 of a wedge every meal. That seems reasonable. Gopher says, tell the story of dollar store scam. Oh, do you mean when I told you about like something similar to this in Japanese 100 yen stores? Let's see. Hex Vexcon says, this is reminding me of the mall that had a tire shop inside it. Why? Oh yeah, so the thing that Gopher's referencing is when, like, in Japanese dollar stores, like, you go there for all kinds of stuff. Everyone goes to them all the time. And a lot of the things, it's, like, pretty good value. It's 100 yen plus tax, so I think it's 108 yen. I think they delayed introducing the 10% tax increase. I don't remember, but anyway, it's 108 yen for everything you get. And some of the things, it's, like, super worth it. You won't find anything comparable for a less good value, right? But for some things, like for snacks, and probably for pencils, maybe cheaper stationery type items, you can buy them cheaper from other stores. Snacks, it's the most noticeable with, because if you buy them from the 100 yen store, they're 108 yen. But if you buy them from the supermarket, they're like between 80 and 90 yen. So like the difference is marginal, but they are marking those up much more. So, scam, says Gopher. I would call it, there's probably a word for it that isn't scam, but I mean, you're essentially correct, right? Let's see. For me, merry-go-round and carousel mean the same thing, by the way. I don't know what you'd call the... Wait, no, are they? Jesus Christ, I guess it's been too long since I was a child. I know what you're talking about. I know all the items that are being referred to, but I haven't had cause to talk about them for, 20 years. Grove says if the store doesn't sell things at a loss, it's a scam. If the store is selling things at a loss, it's probably also a scam in the form of a pyramid scheme, just gotta say. If a store is selling things, it's a scam. Let's eat capitalism. All right, now that we've got that out of the way, let's continue mall crawling. U Revolution. Win tickets to see Yearbook Crush. Inquire within. Okay. Oh my god. The U-Rev is still here? Yeah, this old thing. I can feel the edginess from here. Just looking in there makes me feel old. Oh yes, so we're gonna do this. There is no way I'm going in there. I think there's way she's going in there. Yep. Oh, for God's sake. Holy crap. I'm 14 again. Yep, pretty nuts in here. How's the balance? Is the sound too loud or is it good? Oh, Flaccid Gaming, thank you for the follow. I only just saw. I have recently rearranged my my Twitch dashboard, which means I can't see things in the same place as I used to. It sounds fine, thank you. Aria says off your tree. Yeah, it is. It's like off your tree here. It's meant to be like Hot Topic in America, right? I don't think we ever had Hot Topic in Australia. I'm going to crunch something now. Go for the UFO plate. Is that the name of the playground equipment we're talking about? Yeah, Hexagon, I did consider the word loss leader, but it doesn't match. Loss leaders are when you sell something that you're making a loss on to get people to go into the store for other things. It's more like it's the marked up items, right? It's like how drinks are all marked up. I've got to say, I have the extreme great fortune of having never worked in hospitality, so I don't actually know like the way pricing works for drinks, but I am generally aware that water with a little bit of flavoring in it in a plastic bottle should not cost me $4.50. It certainly does not cost that much to create. Let's see. Hexavexcon says some businesses just exist to be fronts for real estate. Is that right? Crunch, crunch. Yep, pretty nuts in here. Hey, isn't that... Shut up. Dude, check these out. Hey ladies. Hello lady. Just so you know, we have 20% off select shirts. Ooh, t-shirts. Yep. Thanks a lot. Okay. Catch you later. Alright. Haha, nice. Dead Party Boys stickers in 2017. I think they're back in. That's cool. I bet you listen to them. Yeah, they're good. Yeah, if you're 30 years old and sad, mate, please. Is this supposed to be like Fall Out Boy, do you think? What edgy teen band is this supposed to be referencing, or is it just like an amalgam? Just looking at you, chap. Asparagus, you have chocolate. Delicious. What did they say it was called again? It was like Dead Party Boys, I think. I'm getting there. Sad that is. I am not thieving. No. No thieving. They don't even have any Witch Dagger stuff here. They only have stuff that's cool with like 13-year-olds. Oh wait, I did the wrong voice. Heck. Isn't that a Witch Dagger Blacklight poster? Oh, huh. Looks like they have a few of them. I think I saw a whole Witch Dagger thing on the way in. Oh, okay. You should go hang out with the 13-year-olds. Stop it. You have so much in common. I swear I will steal your car and leave you here. Like you even know how to drive. Oh yeah, B is wearing this shirt. Someone said it in chat earlier. Yep. Let's go. I can't leap at the moment, by the way. Why can't I leave? Huh? I'm like missing the exit. I'm not stealing! Dude, this really is bad decision. Well, it's not bad decision simulator. It's like forced bad decisions, the video game. Vlestian, did you finally get your food after the driver got lost? I've had that experience a few times. You have to buy to leave? I don't think we have any money. Asparagus in your system works. You found the document you needed? Nice. Alright, chat. It's times for crimes. Wow, haven't seen belt buckles in a while. At least not the fashionable ones. Mike at the shop has one with a rattlesnake driving a semi-truck. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Do what? Cover me. I'm gonna grab one. What? No. Shh. You are not doing this. So, you're really going to do this? Shh. Be cool. Shoplifting is no big thing, or this isn't my first time doing crimes. Chat, I'm too good a person to do this. I can't. I'm the kind of person that, like, I think have I told this story on stream before, where like I took 2 colored pencils home from school, like when I was 5, because I didn't have those colors at home and I really wanted them, and it haunted me for like 10 years. I like hid them and couldn't use them because I was so guilty. Oh my god. We've seen how you treat Pokemon, says Hex of Exgon. Oh no, does this mean that property is more important to me than Pokemon? Oh no, Valestian, it's chicken with an unfortunate name. You can just refer to it like that in future. You can just say, I've got the good chicken with the unfortunate name. Alright. This isn't my first time doing crimes. What other crimes have you done? Shoplifting, vandalism, piracy, shoplifting again now. Anyway, I just do the easy crimes. How is this stupid idea easy? Our eyes evolved to notice movement. Like dinosaurs. If the dinosaur is moving... Oh wait, that's not... Never mind. So as long as you're perfectly still when the clock is watching, like you're gonna freeze when she looks over, even if you're in the middle of putting it in your pocket. And this is gonna work because dinosaurs, just like dinosaurs. I'm gonna pretend to not know you until you're done, okay? Dude, I actually cannot... Like, I had my hand off the controller because I remembered last time that it was a problem. That my hand was shaking. So, I guess if this is not the way it's supposed to be, then... Like, if this is, like, deliberate, right? Because this could be, like, an actual choice. They make you think that Mae can shoplift, but she actually can't for whatever reason. But if people have played this before and know that you should be able to, then, I mean, my controller is fine for other games, so it must be... there's two options. Either there's something like it doesn't like how the controller is interfacing with the PC and therefore is making it shake around all over the place. Or my strong sense of moral justice has transferred into my controller and it is now refusing to let me steal things. That is the narrative that I will choose to take forward because it's funny. But I don't know what's going on with the controller. Maybe it thinks maybe it's Xbox controllers don't have like gyros, do they? They don't, right? I'm pretty sure they don't. The controller has become the controlled, I've developed a psychic connection with my game controller. If I've developed a psychic this is bullshit. If I have a psychic connection with the game controller, why can't I put my hands back under my nice warm heated blanket instead of having them out in the cold on the controller? Nonsense. Nonsense indeed. Ma'am, can I help you? Ha 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 ha! No, I'm fine. Okay, I'm putting it on the table. It's on the table, and it's still doing this. I don't want to disconnect because this game has a few weird things going on about it. So I'm afraid it won't reconnect, and I'll have to shut down. But yeah, it is on the table. Move it around. It is on the table. Hang on, I'll like pick up. Now go fast. No, it's like super slow. What if I just have like, okay, maybe it's like doable. I have to like press A. I don't remember what button it is. It's not that button. Oh, I see. I have to like maybe get in like the red guidelines. Oh, okay. I'm not good at crimes, okay, guys? Crimes does not come naturally to me. Okay, now what? Oh, I have to put it in the pocket. We have done crimes. Rejoice. Yeah, it looks like the shaking is just Mae being nervous. But that's still weird that it got it the first time. Maybe the game's slightly glitchy. Sweet. I can't believe they're gonna like walk through the door and it's just gonna go bing, me, 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 me. What was it? I had an experience. Oh, I remember what it was. Again, with the like, I am so honest about things that that there is like this is my antithesis basically. I had to buy a box at the post office to send something the other day, and there was a long line at the post office. And I was buying the box from the post office, right? But the line was out the door, and I was like, oh no, oh god, I have to walk outside of the post office with the box before I've paid for it. I was so conflicted. I was like, do I go out? Should I wait until the line is shorter? No, of course, I went out. It didn't scream at me, but I was like, no. All right. Back to the video game. Okay, are you done? Oh yeah. Shut up and let's get out of here. Does anyone else do that? Like, they're terrified that when they walk through the like the beepers at the exit of a store, even if they're not carrying anything or if they've actually purchased the item, that it's gonna scream at them. Okay. Oh yeah, sweet belt buckle I am never ever going to wear. Rubs against my stomach. This is bad, Mae. You should steal something now. Pardon? Haven't you ever done, like, any crimes? I mean, yeah, I guess. Hasn't everyone? Oh, get back in there, champ. What? No. Beatrice, let me lay this out. 1. The security cameras aren't even on in there. 2. The cashier clearly isn't paying attention. 3. There is not one more cop here, as far as I can tell. I don't know. I mean... B. This is an experience. Have it. I'll run interference. Okay, but I'm blaming you and driving away if I get caught. Perfect! Okay. This seems to be a universal experience with the chat, the fear of being screamed at by a beeper. Yeah, Valestian, I've had that. Like, I've had a water bottle in my backpack or something, and I walk into a supermarket and I'm like, oh god, do they think that... Are they going to think that this, like, water bottle that has clearly been, like, rolling around in my, my backpack for days that's half drunk, are they going to, like, arrest me because I don't have a receipt for it? Amazing. Asparagon, you made a handwritten family tree of the Sims 4 Strangerville family. Yeah, that one got really weird after I finished it. Alright. Alright. I'm going to run interference while you do your thing. What do you mean? I'm going to distract the clock. I can do this. Okay, I will admit that drawing attention is a talent that you have. I'm great at crimes. But what if I get caught? You won't. I'll just start screaming if I have to. How is that a good idea? Let's go. Hexavexgon, you have a hearing condition? Yeah. Yeah, if someone has like hyperacusis or like something physically going on with their ears, big ouch. In Aussie land, everyone is so friendly. Why would you be scared? Yeah, it depends who you are. Depends who you are. As a like professional looking white woman, the reality is I don't need to be scared. But for like people of color or people who are lower socioeconomic, yeah, they might get, you know, aggressed upon in that situation. Realistically, I probably don't need to worry about it, but keeping it in mind is probably not a bad idea. Alright. Okay, but if this goes wrong, I'm blaming you. Join the club. Okay, how are we going to run interference? Hey! Uh-huh. I've got a question. T-shirts are 20% off. Yeah, I saw. I was wondering about something else. Okay. The name of this store. Yeah? You probably got this question a lot. Try me. Is it like you revolution or like your revolution? Oh my god. You know, no one ever asks this, but I think about it all the time. I bet. God. You know what the official business name on our checks is? U Revolution Radical Youth Culture Uprising, Inc. That's really dumb. Oh god, I know. Like, guys, can't we just be a store that sells cool shit to teens? Yeah, teens go nuts for this shit. The employee discount is also pretty great. I had a job once. Had a 100% discount. Uh-huh. When I stole shit. No, I got what you meant the first time. I bet you grab things all the time. Well, they're big into prosecuting to the fullest extent of the law here, so... Okay, I'm done looking. Let's go. Okay, it was nice talking to you. Bye now. See ya. Cheese, you don't like youth spelt as UTH? Oh man. You got another shop to deactivate something from a different store? That's amazing. Time for some more NutriGrey ASMR. I just flung a NutriGrey across the desk, but it didn't fall off, so I can still eat it. All right. Why did I do that? You did so well, Bee. I call the cops on shoplifters at my own store. This... What did you get? Some kind of necklace thing. Nice, nice. Gopher says, call me Mr. Chili. Hi, Mr. Chili. Bless you, your store isn't high-tech enough to have beepers. I feel like someone would have to be pretty bold to try and, like, shoplift a guitar. I assume you keep stuff like strings, like, behind the counter so that people can't just pick up and walk it off. Asparagus, you were trying to get a vaccination today but couldn't get one? That sucks. Strings behind the counter. Yeah, I vaguely remember that from when I used to have to buy guitar strings. Nice, nice. Oh, God. Forget it. We're home free. Really? Yeah, we're like out in open waters now. I feel kind of sick. Let's walk it off. Mega's a terrible friend. Like, she's not... Like, I mean, apart from just being a mess in her own personal life, which makes it harder to be there for other people. I know this from experience. You know, I've been in places where I haven't been able to be as there for my friends as I'd want to be because my mental health hasn't been in the best place. But apart from that, she's like actively ignoring her friend's discomfort. Wow, I completely forgot about this giant fish head. Oh my God, I loved her. Did you ever come to the summer days thing here? Yeah, it'd like squirt people. I still have no idea how they did that. One time I saw it knock a guy down. Yeah, every year that would happen and someone would make a fuss. But like, I don't know. You showed up to be squirted by a fish fountain. You know the walkway up there? Past the upper food court thing? Up in the atrium? The what? The ceiling. The glass part that points up. Yeah? When I was a kid, I thought that's where God lived. Wow. I don't know, just remember staring at it when I was a kid. Like, eating a burger and trying to see if I could see God. Like, peeking over or something. Looks like they've got some weird art hanging up there now. Want to go up and see? Nah, my knees are killing me from work. Dude, I'm a little, like, how old is B? Like, mid-20s or something like that? Early 20s? If she has knee issues at her age, caused by work, that big concern. Gopher, you never said why we should call you Mr. Chili. They are 20, yeah. Gopher made chili. What kind of chili? You up for eating? Okay. Let's check out the rest of the mall first. Spicy chili? But do you mean like... Because like if an American says chili, what they mean is like a meat and like bean stew type of affair. But is that what you mean? That kind of a chili? Gopher says roly-poly frog. Frog chili? You made frog chili? Work up an appetite. I was kind of hungry when we got here. Gopher, Mikey wants to know if you like spicy food. Some people have knees conditions. True. Sucks for B if she has like genetic knee conditions and or like acquired, I guess, if she had an injury when she was younger, and she works in a hardware store. Gopher does like spicy food. There you go. Book Rook. Vibes music. Yep, sure is vibes. What's down here? What's the exit? No. No exit. No exit, only vibes. Well, this should be good. I wonder what kind of... Oh, come on! There's no one working the counter? Oh, wow. Hello? Anyone here? Jeez. This is bleak. This is like something out of a failed state or something. What's that? When you make a country and it doesn't work out. So, like this country, well, made with the political discourse. Jeez. Ruins. Let's see what they've got. I don't know which one of these I hate more. We already did crimes. Let's not do drugs as well. So we'll go with Honky Tonk Armageddon. Whoa, I'd actually listen to that just to see what the hell it even means. Chat, I have a mighty need to do... You know, actually, I was about to say to do a Google search, but it might be that people made something called Honky Tonk Armageddon in response to the words existing in this game. I do wonder, though. Cover's got a pickup truck exactly like my uncle's. But this one is on fire and flying at a dragon's face. Upgrade. Dude, this just reminds me. There's like a CD store. It reminds me of like the evolution of the CD store in the mall that I go to. Like, God, like 5 years ago, it mostly still just sold CDs, maybe some music DVDs. And then it like pivoted to be selling like only like, it's basically selling to grandparents and maybe parents, right? Like it's selling the hot hits for teens and like classical music and stuff like that. And like the popular movies, and again like Andre Vieux DVDs and like British like television series box sets of DVDs and stuff like that. And now it sells some DVDs, it sells some CDs, like basically the same range that I just described, but like the entire front of the store now sells jigsaw puzzles. And it's still technically a CD store. Valestian, you just named it. Is Sanity. Is the Sanity near where you are the same? Crunch. Yes, Cheese spelled it correctly. There is no Sanity near you. Were the puzzles CD themed? They were not. Nor, to my disappointment, were they Andre Vieux themed. I don't know anything about. He does violin, right? Something like that. Hex of Exgon says there is in fact a song called Armageddon, Honky Tonk and Saloon by Pagan Rhythms. I will look that up after the stream. All right, let us leave this place of despair. I wish I could jump around like a lunatic. Violin, your nana liked him. Yeah, that's, I mean, that's kind of the stereotype, right? That it's enjoyed by grandmothers. All right. Let us eat. Let's eat. Okay. I expected more excitement. More food court dinner. Oh, what a feeling. See, that wasn't hard. What did you get? What's that noise in my house? It stopped the instant I lifted my headphone off. You inhaled it before I got a look. Oh my god. Dude, these both sound like amazing double carb options. Chat, are you team pizza taco or team pierogi burger? I'm gonna make a poll. You're gonna lose sound because that's how this works. You can have poll or sound, not both. Okay. The poll is live for 1 minute. I hope you can see it. I'm gonna eat my carb while we wait. Cheese, that's bleak. Very bleak. Armageddon Expo is featuring WWE wrestling legend Honky Tonk Man this year. How have these words like come up together in more than one place? All right. Pizza Taco won with 75% of the vote over Pierogi Burger. Pierogi Burger fans, I'm sorry. Your consolation prize is that's what Mae's going to be eating. Pierogi Burger from Smelter Burger. That's just a big pile of carbs and meat, huh? I like how that's relevant for either of the options. I just realized my chatty is now in the wrong place. There we go. It's from Gopher, how could we not? Oh, Gopher, you biased the poll. Or rather, chat biased the poll towards you. How does that make you feel? You're so popular that chat makes carb decisions based on your name being associated. Gopher says pizza. Pizza is good. That is true. I haven't had pizza in ages. Isn't that what we are? Just a pile of carbs and meat? Well, I guess so. Bones too. I don't want bones in my burger. Rain. Did she just like save a picture of rain? How? What? Remember when Kathy Domingo pulled out Cindy Clark's nose ring here? You know what that was about, right? Wasn't Kathy pregnant with, what was his name? Football guy? Ron Boonstra. I didn't know you knew about that. Well, I mean, there was the first football game of our senior year, and Ron ran up the sideline and yelled at the stands, "My first touchdowns to my beautiful firstborn and his mommy, Kathy Domingo." That's something. Kathy was in marching band, and she was crying, I think. And then he dumped her for Cindy a week later. Oh yeah, see, that's the part I know about. That's what set off the whole nose ring situation. I wonder what Kathy's up to now. Well, last year Ron had this ATV accident, and somehow Kathy and him got to talking after that. And they got married. Huh. Yeah, Ron's parents set them up out in a double wide out in Brittle, since Kathy refused to end up in Possum Springs. Brittle's like 15 minutes away. You know what the worst part of this story is? Yes. Ron. At the time I was like, God moves things around in the strangest ways to bring two people together. I don't know if I even believe in God. Same, really. Thinking about this place, the fountain and the God walkway and stuff, not knowing how something worked used to seem like magic. Now not knowing means it might be going wrong and I may not be able to fix it. Helped knowing someone was at the controls, you know? Now I'm just tired all the time from the shop. When I was at school, yeah. Ugh, don't even want to talk about it. What happened anyway? You want to run around the mall some more? There's not really much else to run around. We can check out the weird bad art upstairs. I want to touch it. Please don't. I want to run. You run. I'm going to sit here. She wants to run. They started talking about what happened to her at school and suddenly she wants to run. Yeah, Cheese says, is that a happy ending? I can't tell. Yeah. We don't have enough information. We don't have enough information to know. Maybe they matured. Maybe they didn't. I'm tired and sad now. See yourself. Can I jump now? Yes, I can. Okay. Not really an ending? Yeah, it's true. It's not. Hexavexion says, oh no, it's my we can jump on the art? Holy shit. Okay, I can look at it from here. It's your coping mechanisms, what, like running? Running and not talking about things? Running is actually a good coping mechanism, so long as you don't injure yourself. Not talking about things, not so much. Gove says jumping on art is art. It's transformed it into performance art. It's, what's the word when you have to use when you're talking about not copyright infringing? Transformational, right? Is that the right word? Transformational use? Transformative use. Transformative art, that's right. We truly live in a society. That we do, Gopher. Space for The Rocks Cosmic. An installation by Rawford Gims, sponsored by Dollar Empire. Caution, do not stand on the art. Well, we've already done one crimes tonight. Oh god, this is definitely going to collapse, isn't it? Oh my god. Oh wow. Is this... Fantastic! Whoa, hey. Oh, okay, that's how we have to do this. That's got quite a bit of a delay. Oh my god. Got him. Bee's pissed. Oh my god. Gov says do not. How? Oh, missed that one. May, I know that's you. Oh, missed that guy. Can I aim it? I don't think so. Oh, I can aim it. Look at that. I think this works better though. I say it before missing. I had it for a while there when I wasn't looking at chat. There we go. small taps. Small taps work better. How are you doing that? Stop it, I'm gonna die. Okay, someone's gonna call the cops. Oh no. Beatrice Santello. Don't give them our names. Beatrice Jones. Oh wow, is that you, God? Yes, it is I, God Stevenson. I didn't know you had a last name. Silence, mortal. Through my fish monster I have lain waste to your kind. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty magical. Silence! I shan't say it again. You and your good and noble companion shall get ice cream on the way home. Yeah, we should probably get out of here before you're arrested. The cops shall be confused and stuff and beat each other up. For I am God and I hate the cops. Does God though, the way things are going? Maybe. Okay, get down here. Have a good one, mortal. Because it's not sticking it to the man. The man isn't gonna lose anything here. But she will get in a lot of trouble. She's just a cog in a much bigger machine, huh? Sure, whatever. Return the ship. Okay, I'm going. Hi. Hello. You're back. Yeah, we stole some shit. Here is that shit. We didn't want you to get in trouble with your boss. It's not your fault the world is like it is. What? You stole this? You're just a cog in a much bigger machine. To blame you would be like blaming a thing inside a whole thing. So you're returning stolen merchandise? One day, folks like you are gonna overthrow the whole thing. What whole thing? The whole thing! We're leaving. Stay strong, you beautiful dreamer. You have nothing to lose but your chains. What? Dude, that's such like a like first year sociology student thing to say. This place used to be something. I mean, it's still something. Nah, just a big, mostly empty thing. In a big, mostly empty parking lot. Well, you work with what you have. Let's never come here again. Don't have to convince me. I only came here because you wanted to. Well, Fort Lucan used to be something. Now Fort Lucan's over. Let's go. Let it die in peace. Let it die. I want to drive on the way home. Nope. That's wise. Wise. Okay, what do we get? Oh no. Crimes. Okay, what does Dad have to say? That's the wrong button. Sup, Dad? Heard you had a wild time last night. I didn't drink. It works better if you let me accuse you first. Right. Here's my hangover cure. Not drinking the night before. That's, oh my god, that's such a Dad thing to say. Wow, hold on, let me write that down. It's complicated, I know. That's right, her dad used to be an alcoholic or something, right? Dark. What did you do tonight? Went out with B. You have a good time? Yeah, she's kind of, I don't know. Like, she's older. Like, much older. Kind of sad. Well, she's been through a lot. Yeah. Hey, Dad, would you mind moving the boxes in the crawl space? Well, what have you done for me lately? Been a credit to this family. That doesn't count. Well, would you watch some TV with me? Yeah, for a little bit. Hop up. I'm watching Garbo and Malloy. Nice. I can't remember the voices I gave these people. Welcome back, folks. Okay, it's not proper voicing, so I will voice it. Okay. Welcome back, folks. Hell of a show tonight. Say, Malloy. Yes, Garbo. Ever get the feeling that disaster's right around the corner? Sure do. Right before we start the show every night. You superstitious, Garbo. Not anymore. What happened? I've broken every mirror I've owned. And now I'm lucky enough to never have to look at this mug. Yeah, but what about the rest of us? What? That's a whopper. Coming up next, Garbo and I join a cult. Amazing. Is that going to help now? Who knows? Oh, wrong button. Every button is wrong button. Wonder how old this thing is. Can I practice the bass? Okay, so yeah, songs that I've come across I can practice. Oh my god. Ugh, I did so badly the first time through. Should I try again? No, I want to progress story, but maybe maybe next stream I will have a go at practicing a little bit. Okay. Again, wrong. PC. Crunch, crunch. Charcoal. Hey, dude, what'd you do tonight? Oh, that's Greg. God, you'd think I'd pick up on the colors by this point. Nothing much. Stole something. For Angus. It's a surprise. Wow, what is it? Hold on for a sec. Oh crap, I gotta talk to you later. Okay, weird, are you okay? Hey, cool mole times. Pretty cool mole times, yes. Hope we didn't make too much of a mess with the fountain. Who's we? I was merely sitting there when I was assaulted with mole water. I will not rest until that fountain is brought to justice. Tell the world my story. They must know. Okay, I'm going to sleep. I hope the nightmares aren't too horrible. It is a trauma I shall bear forever. Okay, how do I exit out of computer? B. Asparagus, you found a three-year-old flyer that can go in the recycling, I think. Bedtime. Yes. Crunch. Have you got any further in Demon Tower? No, I have not played. Uh-huh. What about the other direction? We can go either way. Okay, interesting. Who's this? Look at the stars. I wonder if we can end up in multiple places or... Bubs. Oh, look at this. It's like a constellation in the back there. It's like a pirate or something. Creepy, says Gopher. I love this stuff. This is the kind of creepy I enjoy. I was about to say birds don't give a fuck, but they give a little bit of a fuck. Holy shit, what? For those who weren't looking, it's like a cat holding up a mouse's head. Whoa. Saxophone ghost. Chat's dancing, very good. This is very cool. Violin ghost. This is good shit. Can she jump on the moon? No. Oh, I love this music. Oh. What's that? Have we got like more constellation happening? Yeah, very nice. Did awakening them change things back at the start? Yeah, there you go, we got one more. Did I go over here before? I don't remember. Oh no, here it is. Nice. Accordion, very nice instrument. I actually really like how accordions sound. I'm just gonna listen to this for a while. Alright, let's continue. Scary. Bear. Melted. Melted by the bear. Okay. Wrong. Chat messages from anyone? Yep. Morning. I'm working today. Angst is out of town and I'm lonely. Okay, bye. Sincerely, Gregory. Hey, I got sick from the mall food. It wasn't good mall food. I'm working today if you want to say hello. Yep, that's my life right there. Okay. Greg doesn't have enough G's in his name. I mean, he's got 3 of them. How many do you want? Let's see if Dad moved things for us. Nope. What's the turnip icon? I think it's for the chat client. 60%. Gopher says Greg's name is 60. No, you want Greg's name to be 60% G's? What are you even thinking about in there? This bookshelf is like the ghost of Grandad, hanging out in the corner. Maybe not his ghost, like his skeleton. Okay, I just made myself sad. Why'd I come over here? Oh, There's like something written inside this book cover. Left 45, right 100, left 22, left 90, right 15. I'm just going to write that down in my book because I am a boomer and writing things down is how I remember them. Unfortunately, I don't know where I put my book, so that kind of ruins the plan a little bit. I have plenty of pieces of paper, but if I'm not putting it in the book, what's the point? Oh, I know, I moved the book. I moved the book. Random piece of paper it is then. I don't even know if this is like, presumably it's a safe, right? But I guess we'll find out if it becomes important later. It's written down just in case. Is this like, what is this? Oh, we wrote it down in her book? Somewhere? I have no idea. Eee, these are the instructions to get to the sword master, huh? Alright. Good morning. Did you feel it last night? What? There was a big sinkhole 2 streets over. Oh, are we still getting those? I don't think those ever really go away. Swampy ground and so forth. And on a floodplain? Oh, weird. I don't want you over there nosing around it. I guarantee you I won't. I have seen sinkholes. No interest at all. Mum, they're just holes in the ground. Get back to me when, like, one swallows a house or something. We'll go see together if that happens. Deal. So, what did you do last night? Went to the mall with B. Oh, faultless said. Yeah. I haven't been there in years. How is it? Kind of falling apart and empty. Yeah, I expect. Everyone just goes to the outlet stores up by the interstate now. For, you know, shoes and things. Well, stop by the church if you're in the area. Will do, Mum. See ya. Bye, sweetie. Jane, you had a sinkhole in the road in front of your house? Holy shit. It's a bit scary. Oh, it's rainy. Look at this. I probably should go ground level. Doing crimes. Dude, we're running at the same speed as that squirrel. Mae Borowski. Selma's. Now, we all know how important it is to look our best. What? Our appearance is the first and sometimes last impression we make. Selma's, did you join a cult? Lucky for you, I happen to be a licensed dealer. Oh, okay. Of the Sylvan family of products. Selma's, I don't have any money. Oh, okay. Have you sold anything yet? Sold some to my mom and to Abby Krangler. Mrs. Krangler's daughter? Granddaughter. I ran into her at the laundromat over by the school. One time, Greg got locked inside one of the tumble dryers. Did he die? He wanted me to start it, but I chickened out. He definitely would have died. Tell him that. He's still mad. Want to hear a poem? Absolutely. Sure. Sometimes I think and start to sink. Oh no. There's more. Sorry. Then I remember. It's Octember. Octember? I combine my two favorite months. Fall is really nice. It's the best. Days are gonna start getting shorter soon. It makes me sad. I like it. I love the fall, but hate the dark. I like it. You sure do. I used to like it a lot more than I do now. Now I like warmer weather better. I see a raccoon. Where? Up in Tawny Century. He's a big one. Cool. Raccoon. Here's this man that keeps wanting to shoot us. Goph says you're just saying it because it's winter. Not really. Maybe though. Ask me again in summer. Everyone in chat remember and ask me again in summer and see what I say. My cat don't like folks on the porch. I am a cat. Pigeon. Scare pigeon. This music is very nice. Goph says, I want cold now. Send me to Siberia. That's very cold though. Like, do you want all of the cold or just some of the cold? Jeez, you have exposure damage? Jesus, how cold is it in Tasmania? Gopher says, freeze my limbs off. It's not a good idea. Not a good idea, buddy. Your house doesn't have insulation? Oh my god. Oh my gosh, what's happening here? Okay. Oh, I see. They're like harassing this homeless man. Yep, crunch. You guys can read. I crunch. What's their end game? Are they just here to like judge on him? Hello, I'm Mae Browski. Hey, I'm Bruce. I don't say much. That's fine. I talk a lot. But I can, like, not. Bruce. Hello, Com. How are you? Com, Gopher was just complaining that he would like to go somewhere cold. I believe the exact words were freeze my limbs off. Do you think you can help him out? Although actually it's like super hot in Europe at the moment, isn't it? Jane, you're eating glucose tablets instead of a real snack. As to how it can be cold in Tasmania when the devil lives there, it's because hell's frozen over, clearly. No, I can't jump off. You woke up and surprisingly, to I'm sure everybody's surprise, you're feeling hungry. I've got to say, I'm not surprised. I hope you can get some food. I noticed, I think I've talked before about I use an app to track what I eat. It shows you the macronutrients of the food that you've eaten, like the protein, fat, and carb breakdown of what you've eaten in that day as well. I noticed after lunch that I'd had like very little protein, so I'm like, right, dinner, it's gonna be like protein big. So I'm having brown rice with tuna and an egg. And some soybeans. Egg. It was mega heat wave recently. Giga heat wave recently, even more. But yesterday and today is pretty chilly. Nice. Just having a look back at the chat here. Cheese, I think I saw you say you're trying to get through winter without using the heater. Like your immune system will start to fuck up once your like ambient temperature is less than 10 degrees though, so just be careful. Oh, good news, Gopher. Com says you can go hang out with him anytime, but you have to pay for the tickets. And presumably the border issues. Gopher says, Lena's pay for tickets help. You want me to buy you a ticket to the Ukraine? You're a dear friend, Gopher, but I don't think I can do that. Hey, Mum. Hey, sweetie. I completely forgot where the sanctuary is. You passed the door on your way here? Oh, I thought those were locked. They're locked sometimes. All doors are locked sometimes. Not like saloon doors. Cowboys just walking in and out. That's very rude. The Old West was a very rude time. Howdy, partner. I say, this powerful rude. That's like a southern gentleman. He's classing the place up. Tarnation. Okay, Mum, no more cowboy talk for you. Dadgummit. Foghorn Leghorn, yeah, it's got a bit of it. Hexavexicon, your immune system is still dying, even though you are using the heater constantly. Yeah, it's the time of it. You're wearing snow gear, Cheese. Indoors. Holy shit. I gotta get back to work, sweetie. Love you. What work? You're just like sitting here reading the Bible. Is that what work in a church looks like? Has anyone here worked in a church? Com, you want to know if I'm entering product sets manually or it has things that are in my stores. I can scan barcodes and it has things that are in my stores. But you can also enter things manually if you want to. If you have the information available, you can like guess as well. Hello. Hello. You're Candy's daughter, right? Yep, who are you? Kate, but most people call me Pastor K. You're new here, right? 16 months? Something like that. Oh, new to me at least. Hello. 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 Do me a favor? Take that last hello and give it to Bruce. Oh yeah, I met that guy. Oh good. Bruce is new to our community. Looks like he's been in the woods a while. Only a few weeks. But being in the woods isn't really the same as being in the community. True. Is he cold at night? Working on it. Hey again. Hey. Your mom will be pretty happy you're here. Oh, don't I know it. You not a churchgoer? I was when I was a kid. Well, you had to go then. Yeah. I liked Sunday school. They'd give you cookies and orange drink. Is orange drink really the only name for it? Huh. I don't know. I'm realizing I've also been calling it that my entire life. Orange drink. The drink that is orange. When did you stop coming? When my mom stopped making me. When I was like 15 or so. Why? I don't know. All the sitting and standing, sing this now, feel this thing now. Well, the feelings are more suggestions. Doesn't feel like it. Well, I hope you'll maybe come some Sunday. Yeah, I guess I haven't seen you preach. Oh wow, preach. Kind of has a bad ring to it, huh? Talk? That works. Hey, listen. You know, if you ever want to talk or have any questions about, like, God, sure, you can always talk to me. It's kind of in my job description. Okay. This lady seems nice. I'm not religious myself, but one of my nicest friends that I know from high school, and they're still a friend, she's like the nicest person you'll ever meet. I was about to say she's a youth pastor, but if she's my age, I don't know, do you become a real pastor? Like, do you get upgraded to like being a regular pastor when you reach a certain age? Having a look at chat. Hello, chat. Celestian, you once dropped a 9-volt torch into an electric organ in a church and couldn't get it out. That's pretty good. Imagine if it somehow turned itself on during a sermon or whatever you have at churches, and like in a dramatic moment in the music, suddenly light started coming out of the organ. It was on, says Celestian. Oh my god. Gopher says, I'm hungry, but I've been sampling chili and I feel sick. Oh no. I don't eat much spicy food. I don't know what's good advice to give in this situation. What if you drink some milk? I've never been to war. Not like the recruiter didn't try though. Hard. Like 10 guys from my high school class went off to army. We were talking about this in, I think, the last stream of this, how in America, in small towns, the recruiters go really hard. Gotta afford college some way or another. It looks so sad and empty when we're not playing in it. Arya says youth pastors lead the youth but are not necessarily the youth. That makes sense. I guess it's easier to relate to someone closer to your own age though, right? Oh, let's see if... Oh, Angus is out of town, right? Greg said that. Yeah, it's Dear Lady. Oh, she's sad. But she's listening to music, and so everything's okay. Go for, have you got some like simple food? Like some, I don't know, like rice or pasta? Bread? Oh, here's these two guys who like, they're all about the sports. It's wet and I'm cold. Smelters wouldn't say that. Hell no, smelters will play in any weather. Come rain or come shine, it's always smelter weather. You think you're just hungry? I get nauseous when I'm hungry, so that would check out. Who's this? Excuse me. Yeah? I'm looking for the park store. You just missed it. What? You've got an accent. Where are you from? Oh, Russia? Oh, no. I'm not going to do my shitty Russian accent, especially not with Com here. How did you end up all the way out here? I'm hiking the Great Eastern Deciduous Trail. Com says go on. Oh, God. I don't even, like, I haven't even spoken any Russian for like a year and a half at this point. I don't think I even remember how to do like a Russian, like even a fake terrible Russian accent. Let's see. I'm probably going to end up sounding like the Count from Sesame Street. I'm hiking the Great Eastern... No, I can't. I can't even work out what I'm doing with my vowels and my consonants here. The Great Eastern Deciduous Trail. Did you see any bears? Not so far. They eat people sometimes. Actually, all of your bears are around here. Now it's French? What the fuck is happening to my voice? I'm gonna have to, like, be awake and not working the next time Com streams so I can remind myself what a Slavic accent sounds like. Mostly it's garbage. Rude. My guide said there was a park store here. It's gone. Used to be right here. But now there's a snack falcon. Do you know where I can get supplies? I mean, snack falcon, dude. I guess I can find something in there. Yeah, man, they got all kinds of cool stuff. Probably all perishable, though. Isn't everything perishable? We're all going to perish. Everything is going to perish. But yeah, they've got granola bars, I think. Spasibo. What's spasibo? Thanks. Ooh, Russian. Dude, this is like... This is like, this reminded me, this guy reminded me knowing what, like knowing the word perishable. I mean, I guess if he specifically came to hike, he would have learned that specific word, right? But it's like non-native speakers of English will be like, please let me apologize from the bottom of my heart for my my imperfect English. You know, I've only been studying for 10 years. I haven't read that much. I'm not that educated, but I'll do my best to communicate well with you. And then us native English speakers, when we're speaking a language that's not our own, it's like the only language I can bring up off the top of my head is like Japanese. So it's like konnichiwa. Neme namae wa. And then they're like, do you speak English? I do speak Japanese, like moderately, probably even still moderate, but it's just such a thing, right? Like, yeah, as Cheese says, people make the biggest apologies for their English and then they speak better the English than you do. And then your native English speakers are just like, dude, we can't even speak our native language properly. Com, you think I do a great impression of a drunk Slav, which is 90% of Slavs anyway. Good. I'm glad to hear there was some realistic sounding element in there. Oh, whoa, I can go this way? We weren't able to go here before. Donkey. Oh, the donkey is closed. Food donkey is closed. Oh, hello, Jeremy. Hey, Jerm. What you doing?
Nothing. Was hanging with a couple crusties before.
What?
Crust punks, traveler kids.
Oh, okay, like from off the trains?
They know we don't got much cops.
I miss all the cool stuff.
One of them had a dog. They mostly have dogs sometimes. One time I seen a crusty missing a foot.
What happened?
Trains, jumping on and off and falling between cars and stuff.
That's intense.
Hands, knees, legs, feet, whole arms.
We saw an arm the other day. Do you think it was from a crusty?
Nah. I mean, I don't know.
Huh. I feel uncomfortable saying the word crusty. I don't even know if this is like a real slang, but it feels like a slur. You know, it feels like a slur. Just having a look at chat. I'll be finishing up in about 5 minutes, by the way, guys. Okay, this is the end here. Oh, just a sec. Okay, I'm back. Gopher, I think the way you were talking in chat makes people feel like you're very sick. Are you very sick? Everyone's wishing you well. You're just feeling unwell. It's not good. Yeah, I hope you feel better soon. Everyone hopes you feel better soon. You are beloved member of community. What else does Jeremy have to say? So,
I'm here a lot of days.
okay, I was gonna say,
I have to go now.
bye. Alrighty then. You were getting water. Everyone like decided you were dying while you were getting water. But yes, when you're feeling nauseous, it's good to be hydrated at least. Let's see if the old dog lady is there. Oh look, it's the teens.
Rainy day, huh? But not down here.
You kids have your own little secret hideout down here, huh?
Whatever.
When I was a kid,
Literally nobody cares.
well,
Whatever.
okay then. Rude teens. Being rude. Okay, the lady's not there. Okay. I bet some rat babies would love a delicious pretzel. Okay, let's see if I can... I stole a belt buckle. I'm sure I can do this, right? I just gotta be careful. Once again, the hand is on the controller is on the ground, so the shake is just like the game's like artistic approach to things. This is different. This is stealing to food our to food our starving rat babies, you know? Where the hell's the button to grab? Oh, it's that one. As Hexavexicon says, yes, our rabies. Now I have to remember how to get up to the rats, of course. Yes, I am thief. get up here again? Oh yeah, there's like little like rat kid right up top too. Is he up here? I don't remember where he was. No, obviously not here. Oh, there he is. Okay. That's how to get to the rat babies. Let's go there first. Oh, she likes pasta K. Oh, I have to like manually open the window. Okay. Thoughts on pipe lamps. I don't even know what that is. What is a pipe lamps? Okay. All right, my little miracle rats. Time to eat. Wow, you're hungry. Very hungry. I guess I'm your mom now? I don't know if I'm ready to be a mom. I got an achievement called Mother of Vermin. They were starving. Really not my responsibility. Oh my god, these flowers are fake as hell. Mallard deserves a better memorial. Wait, there's like a door here, but I can't do anything about it. I found them. My job. I'm interfering with nature. Dragon, don't you watch Star Trek? You can't be interfering with shit. Dragon says, fuck Star Trek. You go into Sphinx's chat and say that. Hey.
Hey.
Get to sit if that's cool.
It's cool.
What you doing?
Drawing.
Okay, what you drawing?
You know how in a movie, like a knife will go through someone's eye?
Woo, boy, do I ever.
I'm like designing an effect and makeup for that.
Ooh, clever.
I'm working on a horror movie.
That's so rad.
Okay, maybe not making it yet, but I mean, someday I could like direct it and write it and do the makeup. I have really good scream too.
Really?
Ah! I want to like go to horror movie school.
I don't want to crush his dreams. He's still baby. I think they have those.
Oh yeah, they're really cool. I already know how to make fake blood and body parts. Sorry, it's probably boring.
Dude, he's like up high here. Maybe he dropped the arm. How in the world could that possibly be boring? Yeah, Dragon thought the same thing, right?
I know like all of them.
Body parts?
Horror movies.
Everyone?
A lot of them.
Cool, cool, cool. Alright, I gotta go.
See ya.
Later. Yeah, I like this kid. He's nice. Oh shit. It's alright. Goat long, by the way. Well, let's see. It is time for me to stop, but let's decide who we're going to spend time with. Oh Jesus, I just like killed this man on his motor scooter. Who should we spend time with? B or Greg? I feel like B is the better role model. I don't know if the way this game works is it's like a choose. We only get to spend time with one of them, or we end up spending time with all of them. Dragon wants me to spend time with Greg, but I like B. B is nice crocodile lady. Dragon says, I don't care that you like goth girls. I'm trying to remember if I like ever had a goth girl phase. I'm pretty sure no. I had a phase when I was like 20 when I wore pretty heavy black eyeliner, but I think, and like a lot of black clothes, but I think that was as goth as I ever got, which is to say not at all. Cool. I'm going to save and quit here. Thank you, everyone. Let's stand in front of B. Look, Bandit Queens. No, Dragon B is just slightly more goth than that because she does at least have an Ankh shirt on. All right. Thank you for being here, everyone. Today's Friday, right? I always get discombobulated when I'm sick. So it is Friday. The next time you see me will probably be on Sunday with Gopher for Human Fall Flat. And then we will continue with this next week, hopefully. Seems correct? Yes. All right. Have a wonderful time. If you are in southeastern Australia, stay warm. It is cold as balls. This being like, you may think, well, my balls aren't that cold, but perhaps you should ventilate them more because it's good for your health. Slap them in the refrigerator. It's fine. Don't worry about it. What am I talking about? I'm going now. Stay safe, stay warm, stay delightful, and I will see you on Sunday with Gopher, so long as he is not still ill from chill-y. Take it easy, guys. See you later. Bye.